Hey there, movie lovers. Welcome back to the Top Select 10. If you're a fan of high-octane action, edge-of-your-seat thrills, and jaw-dropping stunts, you've clicked on the right video. Today, we're diving into the top 10 must-watch Hollywood action and thriller movies currently streaming on Netflix. Whether you're looking for adrenaline-pumping chases or heart-stopping suspense, we've got you covered. So grab your popcorn, buckle up, and let's count down the ultimate list of Netflix's best action and thriller films that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Ready? Let's get into it. Before starting the video, I request you to subscribe my channel, Top Select 10. I need your support. Please support me. Like and share the video, thank you. Let's start the video. Number 10. The Foreigner. The Foreigner is an action thriller film, directed by Martin Campbell from a screenplay by David Marconi, based on the 1992 novel The Chinaman by Stephen Leather. A British-Chinese-American co-production, the story follows. Min Quan runs a Chinese restaurant in London with his business partner Lam. When his teenage daughter Fan is killed in a clothing store bombing, he seeks revenge. The bombing is claimed by a group calling itself the Authentic Era, failing to get the names of the bombers from Scotland Yard. Quan next focuses on the Northern Ireland Deputy First Minister Liam Hennessy, who speaks publicly about his status as a former era leader while condemning the bombing. Quan eventually leaves for Belfast and seeks out Hennessy, who claims to have no knowledge of the bombing or its perpetrators. Quan does not believe him and sets off a homemade bomb in Hennessy's office as a threat unless he gets the bombers' names. Number 9. A Hijacking. A Hijacking is a Danish thriller film written and directed by Tobias Lindholm about a ship hijacking. The story follows. The cargo ship MV Rosen is heading for harbour when it is hijacked by Somali pirates in the Indian Ocean. Amongst the men on board are the ship's cook Mikkel and the engineer Jan, who along with the rest of the seamen are taken hostage in a cynical game of life and death. With the demand for a ransom of millions of dollars, a psychological drama unfolds between the CEO of the shipping company and the Somali pirates. A Hijacking features excellent performances from two protagonists, delivered in an unflinching fashion that lays out the scenario and simply allows the raw emotions to transpire on their own. Number 8. Headhunters. Headhunters is a Norwegian action thriller film based on the 2008 novel of the same name by Joe Nesbo. The story follows. Roger is a human resources manager in a large company and has a wonderful home and a beautiful wife, Diane, who owns an art gallery. But he lives in greater luxury than he should. In order to continue this, he has a second job, art theft. Diana introduces him to Klaus, a former executive for GPS tech company, who wants to work for Pathfinder, whom Roger is recruiting for. In addition to being the perfect candidate for the job at Roger's company, he is the owner of a very valuable painting. Roger seeks the opportunity and immediately begins to plan his greatest hit. But what Klaus encounters in his home will put him in a very difficult way to return. Number 7. Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler is an American neo-noir thriller film. The story follows. Louis Bloom is something of a loner who is unemployed and ekes out a living stealing and then reselling copper wire, fencing and most anything else he can get his hands on. When late one night he comes across an accident being filmed by independent news photographer Joe Loader, he thinks he may have found something he would be good at. He acquires an inexpensive video camera and a police scanner and is soon spending his nights racing to accidents, robberies and fire scenes. He develops a working relationship with Nina Romana, news director for a local TV station. As the quality of his video footage improves, so does his remuneration, and he hires Rick, young and unemployed, to work with him. The more successful he becomes, however, the more apparent it becomes that Louis will do anything to get visuals from crime scenes. Number 6. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is a mystery thriller film based on the 2005 novel by Swedish writer Stieg Larsson. The story follows. Mikael Blomkvist is a disgraced journalist who is asked by a wealthy industrialist to write a biography on his family. But what he really wants Blomkvist to do is to find out what happened to his niece, who went missing 40 years ago. At first, Blomkvist isn't interested, until the man offers to help him clear his name. Blomkvist begins by talking to the man's relatives who were there when the girl went missing, but some of them are not forthcoming. Blomkvist eventually believes that her disappearance might have something to do with some serial killings that took place 20 years before she disappeared, so he asks for a research assistant. The industrialist's man suggests Lisbeth Salander, a talented hacker who does background checks for them and who even did one on Blomkvist. When he sees her report, he's impressed and asks her to work with him, and she does. She's antisocial, but is extremely efficient. Number 5. Elite Squad, The Enemy Within. After a bloody invasion of the BOPE in the high-security penitentiary Bangu 1 in Rio de Janeiro to control a rebellion of interns, the Lieutenant Colonel Roberto Nascimento and the second-in-command Captain André Meixas are accused by the Human Rights Aids member Diogo Fraga of execution of prisoners. Meixas is transferred to the corrupted military police and Nascimento is exonerated from the BOPE by the governor. However, due to the increasing popularity of Nascimento, the governor invites him to team up with the intelligence area of the Secretary of Security. Along the year, Fraga, who is married with Nascimento's former wife, is elected state representative, and Nascimento's son Rafael has issues with his biological father. Meanwhile, Nascimento and the BOPE expel the drug dealers from several slums, but another enemy arises. The militia led by Major Rocha and supported by the governor, the Secretary of Security, and politicians interested in votes. Nascimento is manipulated to help this group, vanquishing the criminals in the slums and poor communities. Then the corrupt group of police officers is free to exploit the poor population. Number 4. Warrior. Warrior is an American martial arts sports thriller film. The story follows two brothers face the fight of a lifetime and the wreckage of their broken family within the brutal, high-stakes world of mixed martial arts fighting in Lionsgate's action drama, Warrior. A former Marine, haunted by a tragic past, Tommy Riordan returns to his hometown of Pittsburgh and enlists his father, a recovered alcoholic, and his former coach, to train him for an MMA tournament awarding the biggest purse in the history of the sport. As Tommy blazes a violent path towards the title prize, his brother, Brendan, a former MMA fighter unable to make ends meet as a public school teacher, returns to the amateur ring to provide for his family. Even though years have passed, recriminations and past betrayals keep Brendan bitterly estranged from both Tommy and his father. But when Brendan's unlikely rise as an underdog sets him on a collision course with Tommy, the two brothers must finally confront the forces that tore them apart, all the while waging the most intense, winner-takes-all battle of their lives. Number 3. 1917. April 6, 1917. On a battlefield in northern France, Lance Corporal Tom Blake with the British Army is asked to choose one of his battalion colleagues to join him on an assignment. He choosing his best friend, Lance Corporal Will Schofield. It isn't until Blake chooses Schofield that they learn of the dangerous nature of the mission, to hand-deliver a message to Colonel Mackenzie leading another nearby battalion. They having to cross no man's land to what they have been told are now the abandoned German trenches to get to Mackenzie just past the nearby town of Akoust. The message, which must reach its destination by dawn tomorrow, is for Mackenzie to abort his troops' attack, then on the supposedly retreating Germans who are in reality lying in wait, the Germans having planned this deception for months. The lives of Mackenzie and his 1,600 men are at risk if the message does not make it through in time. One of those men being Blake's brother, Lieutenant Joseph Blake. Blake and Schofield's stories as it pertains to them as soldiers in the bigger picture of the war, as soldiers trying to stay alive, as friends, and as human beings who have their own motivations are told for as long as they are able to survive on this mission. Number 2. Batman Begins. Batman Begins is a superhero film. The story follows Bruce Wayne, who experiences the death of his parents at a very young age, relocates to Asia and trains with his mentors, Henry Ducard and Ra's al Ghul, in fighting injustice. He returns to a crime-ridden Gotham, and with the help of his old butler and estate caretaker, Alfred, the CEO of Wayne Enterprises' Applied Science Division, Lucius Fox, he dons a new persona, Batman, to strike fear into the hearts of the criminals and the corrupt. With the help of rising cop Gordon and the assistant district attorney, and Bruce's love interest Rachel Dawes, he is able to take down the mafia Don Falcone and the twisted doctor drug dealer Jonathan Crane, aka the Scarecrow. With Ra's al Ghul's return with his evil plan to destroy Gotham by inducing fear into the hearts of the people, Batman must defeat his mentor once again so as to bring peace in Gotham. Number 1. Oldboy. Oldboy is a South Korean action thriller film. The story follows Odi-soo, an obnoxious drunk abducted on a rainy night in 1988, wakes up in a strange, windowless hotel room. Kept under lock and key for an unknown reason, Odi-soo's invisible captors keep him fed and systematically sedated to avert suicide, providing only a color television to keep him company. And after 15 long years in captivity, perplexed Odi-soo finds himself released. Now, his pitiless abductors encourage Odi-soo to track down the ones behind the mysterious kidnapping and finally get his brutal, longed for revenge on the unknown tormentor. However, who would hate Odissu so much that he would deny him a quick and clean death? If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, like and share the video. Thank you.